The anti-colonialism Boxers' revolution breaks out to expel the Western powers from China. Russia responds by occupying Manchuria. The revolution results in a failure. In 1904, Japan occupies Korea and goes to war with Russia to occupy Manchuria. The Russian army gets pushed back by the Japanese thanks to their naval superiority. After Japan invades the Sakhalin Oblast, Russia surrenders and loses half of the island. Japan annexes Korea and a strategic port in the Bohai Sea. After a decade of uprisings, in 1911 the Xinai Revolution breaks out to depose the Qing dynasty from China. In 1914, World War I breaks out and Japan joins the war to occupy the German islands in the Pacific Ocean, while the Allies occupy the other German colonies. The civil war against the Bolsheviks in Russia also becomes a threat to Japan, who passed through Manchuria to help the White Army. The Japanese ordered the Chinese warlords to occupy Mongolia to halt the Bolshevik expansion in the country. After the operation was completed, the Bolsheviks and the Mongolian communists still took over the country and the Japanese left the Chinese there. When the Bolsheviks were winning the war, Japan withdrew from Manchuria and stopped the aggressions. In China, the civil war continues. In 1931, Japan starts a full-scale invasion of Manchuria to occupy the region. The Chinese pose great resistance, but the Japanese army takes over the region anyway, and the puppet of Manchukuo is established. In 1936, Japan extends its occupation even further. China finally responds with a full invasion and liberation of its territories. The Second Sino-Japanese War breaks out. The Japanese occupy the totality of northeastern China. When World War II breaks out, Japan was at war with the USSR, and the war ended with a Russian victory. Japan occupies key points in China. When France surrenders, Japan invades northern Vietnam. On the 7th of December 1941, Japan bombs Pearl Harbor and begins the invasion of the European colonies in the Pacific. In 6 months, Japan occupies the European colonies and invades Burma. The Americans begin to catch up against Japan. In 1945, 2 atomic bombs get dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, making the Japanese Empire surrender. Korea is split in half while Japan is occupied by the Western powers. In China, the communists slowly take over the country. The Republic goes in exile in Taiwan. The island is not overtaken as the communists don't have a proper fleet to fight. The Korean War breaks out and America gets involved to help the South. The United Nations make a significant comeback in the north, and China quickly sends its army to push them back. A stalemate then is finally reached and the war becomes a trench warfare. Japan is free from the Allied occupation. With the years, South Korea and Japan, allies of the West, become prosperous and free countries, while North Korea, with its dictatorship, becomes one of the worst countries to live in.